Welcome to Traveling Texas Moms, where we teach you how to use the world of travel in an optimized life to help busy parents create the freedom to act like kids. I'm your host, Mallory Smith.
And I'm your co host, Kendall McMillan. If you're new to the show, welcome. If you haven't already subscribed, please like, subscribe, and follow us on any social media platform at Traveling Texas Moms.
We always appreciate our growing community and are grateful for this time with you. Let's roll into today's show. All right, today we are going to talk about my visit to the illustrious Club 33.
You're such a snob. I can't even associate myself with you anymore.
I'm not a snob. I'm just lucky. I was so lucky to have some really great people show me around this club and just give me the bucket list experience that I've been wanting for a long time. So, I guess we could just start. Kendall, do you want to give your best description of what Club 33 is for those who don't know?
Um, okay, I was going to ask you what were the requirements for joining the club?
Ooh,
As far as
I
like price range, the wait list.
so I don't ask questions that I don't want the answers to. I mean, I've heard all sorts of things. I don't know for sure. I've heard that the wait list was like 5 to 9 years, unless like you're a celebrity and you get bumped to the top. And I've heard that, it's a $33,000 down payment plus a monthly fee on top of that. What have you heard, Kendall?
You were my information
Oh,
for
okay. So
Club
your
33.
information's mine.
This
Yeah,
was a
so
closed door for me. It's been propped open slightly by you.
I didn't know if you had heard other rumors, but yeah, I mean, I don't know because I'm not close enough to one of these, and I don't have enough expendable income to entertain the idea at the moment. Not to say that it couldn't happen later in life, but definitely not. I'm more of my priorities are more investing into my family and myself and building passive income right now. Those are my priorities. One day maybe a Club 33 membership would be included, but so that's kind of the stigmas around it, I guess.
Yeah.
But so my
Well, I
this
was gonna
was
say really quick, Mal. I actually did hear a rumor one time about Club 33, but now that I'm thinking back and saying it out loud, I'm not sure if it was talking about Club 33 or Augusta National Golf Course.
oh my gosh. Really?
Okay, a rumor I heard probably over a decade ago was that Donald Trump had requested or asked to join Club 33, and they denied him.
Yeah,
Now,
I don't know.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that was actually Augusta. I don't know. I feel like I'm starting rumors here, but that's just to show you like the level of, because this is
Exclusivity.
pre-presidential Donald Trump. Yeah, this is like
Right.
how exclusive it is. You can't just walk up and ask to join. Like you got to either know somebody already in the club, I'm assuming. I mean, obviously
Right.
he's got enough money to pay that, but
I've
so
heard
there's
that
other
certain
criteria.
Yeah, I've heard that certain corporations that are local to the
Uh-huh.
areas and that are large enough and can pay the fee uh can have a membership, like where they have had a membership. But let's for before we go any deeper, let's talk about the history a little bit. So when Walt was building Disneyland, California, originally, he created a restaurant. And gosh, don't I might butcher this story as well. So I always I know there's more knowledgeable Disney people out there than me, but we'll just lay that as a blanket statement for this episode. But so he created a restaurant that the construction workers could go to, and he put hidden microphones in the chandeliers or the light fixtures in the ceiling to listen in on the construction workers' conversations and figure out where they were cutting corners for for the park.
I really
When
hope that's a real story. That's
I am
fantastic.
I'm pretty sure it is. And so basically like he would catch them when they before they would actually cut the corners or as it was happening and they would have to go back and redo the work and he just wanted to make sure it was done correctly. And so supposedly that was the origin of this particular space and this restaurant. Once the park was opened, he transitioned it into a private club, a private meal area, and Club 33 was born. The 33 is significant for no other reason than it's the address on the door. So it was originally in a different location than I think the one that I went to, but it's in the French Quarter area, close to Pirates of the Caribbean, and it's very low key. Like if you, so I was watching people. I was standing not in a creepy way, but before our reservation because you can't get in early. I was standing in the area and watching people, and there were moms like pushing strollers and just in standing in the doorway, blocking the entire thing, just thinking it was another fake door in the alleyway. So like there's people that walk by it every single day that have no clue it's there. But we'll get into the progression of this day. So we being my husband and my daughter and my mom and stepdad all took this trip. The goal was to go on a Royal Caribbean cruise, and it was leaving out of LA. But of course, since I was going to be in the vicinity and I have friends there, I'm like, wow, what if we could pair this with a 1 day whirlwind trip to Disneyland and I
Okay,
could
and
finally.
hold on. I'm going to pause you for a second because you have been talking about this specific vacation uh, maybe for a year before this actually happened, I feel like.
I
Is
I
that
knew
accurate?
I knew I wanted it. I didn't know how to put all the pieces together. And so I met this particular couple in March of 2022. And that's when we first discussed. Like I basically shared like he saw my back of my phone as a Disney here. I guess I could show you. It's the castle is my phone case. And we started talking about how much I love going to the parks and that it's on my bucket list to Club 33. And I've found that if you just put things like that out into the universe, eventually somebody's going to say, "Hey, I can help with that." And so that's exactly what happened in this situation. He's like, "Oh, well, I can get you." And I'm like, "What?" Like that exact face. But so yes, it had been a long time coming, and then finally we got all of the timing elements and the right trip and everything put into place, and it happened. But here's the kicker. So like I don't have unlimited vacation. I had to make it work with my work schedule because priorities, right? And it's so I only had a day to go to Disneyland, and we did like literally. So we started our day at like 6 a.m. I think, trying to head to the Dallas airport, and then flew in, and we landed in LA at 10 a.m. Went straight from there to we stayed in a Marriott hotel just down the road, so it's very close. We took a tram over like one of the buses to the parks. And so yeah, I think we were in the parks by 11:30 because it was our lunchtime back home, and we were hungry, and we were like, well, we can either pay a lot of money and eat at the hotel or a neighboring restaurant, or we could go ahead and start our day at the parks and eat there, like get a snack there before this whole lunch plan that we had. And so we decided to go into the parks, and I had a churro first. So, it was it was good. And then of course my daughter wanted her own churro, but these things are like probably a foot and a half long.
Yeah.
Like they're tall churros, but they were
Yeah.
so good. And so we both got churros, and then my husband got a turkey leg. And I was like, dude, you know that we're about to have like this 4 course meal at a really fancy restaurant, right? And you're snacking on a turkey leg. He's like, but they're the best here. And no lie, like he's biting into this turkey leg and gets grease on his pants And I'm like, I can't take you anywhere. It's he ended up going to the bathroom and getting most of it wiped off, but I was a little ashamed at that point, but it wouldn't be my husband if he didn't get something on his clothes when he was eating, especially something like a turkey leg. Uh, Fun story about the churro. So we did a couple rides before our reservation time for the lunch, and so the first one that we went on was Jungle Cruise, because I figured McKenna would like it. There's lots to look at, obviously. And so we're in these really, really skinny lines. Like, you want to know how I know that Disneyland was made a long time ago is there's like about this much space for you to walk through this queue. Like, it was tiny. It was built for people in the 60s, but it yeah, anyway, so we're
50s
all sing
actually.
the 50s.
54.
Okay, well, you see, I don't have all of my facts straight, and it's okay because the love is there. The intent is there. So we're single file, and McKenna, my daughter, is first, and for our viewers, she's 4, and she's got this giant churro that's half as tall as she is, and she's talking to me like in this line. She's like looking this way, and churros pointing forward, and she's walking forward, and she runs into the guy in front of her. And I look down, and she's stamped a cinnamon sugar churro mark on his butt. And I'm just like, okay, it's fine. And she notices it too. She's like, oh, and she goes to wipe it off. This random guy's bottom in front of us. My 4-year-old starts trying to pet his butt, and I'm like, no, 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 that's not appropriate.
Oh my gosh, how
And
funny.
so
McKenna.
that was item one of our Disney trip was her almost touching a random guy's bottom in front of her. So yeah, we had just enough time to kind of walk around after that. We really didn't have enough time to ride another ride between then and our reservation. So we'll fast forward. We meet up with my friends. They get to the park, and it's time. And so like they actually videoed me. Maybe we can show. I'll post a clip to our social media, so you can go to our Instagram and see this video of me ringing the doorbell. So basically, yeah, I was never so excited to push a button, honestly. So we ring the doorbell, and it rings for like 20 seconds. Like, it felt like a lifetime. And I was like, this is it. I'm not getting in. Like, they heard I was coming, and they're refusing to answer. But eventually they do. And she was like, "Oh yeah, this is Club 33." I don't remember exactly what she
Is
said.
that customary for them to wait that long?
I don't know. I don't know if they were busy with other guests. They don't really like for a whole lot of guests to be in the entry area all at once, because it's very much a personalized process. But yeah, I don't know. This is my first time. I have nothing to compare it to.
Ah,
But anyways, so she asks for the reservation name, and so I tell her my friend's name, and she's then they let us in. And so they ask us if we've ever been there before, and we're all like, no, except for my friends. They're like, yeah, we've been. And so they welcome us. And then they said, okay, well, we're still getting your table set up. So we're gonna keep you here in the Court of Angels. If you want to park your stroller, here's stroller parking over here. They come and they greet you with a warm, moist towel, and you do the whole, wiping your hands off thing. And that was really cool. Well, and then we took pictures because there's this big staircase, and there's tile floor, and it was just so pretty, and it was open air in this little courtyard area before
you
they
can't
take you up.
see people in the park from this
No,
courtyard?
no, no, not at all. It's all behind doors and hidden and everything. So this is a secluded area. But yeah, so what happened next after we took all of our pictures, we were not expecting. So they kind of pull my friend whose name was on the reservation aside, and they say, because we got rules before we showed up. You can't take pictures or videos of other people inside the restaurant. You can't like try and sneak a selfie with someone in the background. Kind of like was it your dad that did that at at the golf tournament?
Yeah, my dad snuck a selfie with Johnny Manziel at the Valero Texas Open.
Yeah, so that none of that that way he would be kicked out for that in this restaurant.
I don't think Johnny would mind though.
Nah, I mean, who knows? There's lots of celebrities, lots of people who don't really want to be bothered or photographed
Right.
in this restaurant. So, but there's also a very strict dress code. And they basically pulled my friend aside and said that my mom's jeans were not allowed in the restaurant because they were frayed at the bottom. It was a very fashionable fray. It's not like they were messy, but they were slightly frayed, and ripped jeans are not allowed. And so my mom was so embarrassed. And but luckily I'm like, what? And I'm like, Mom, I sent you the rules. Like, did you not read them? Like, why would you chance this? Like,
Yeah.
so, but I guess she just didn't even think it'd be an issue. But luckily she was able to roll them up into cuffs and hide all of the frayed pieces, and that was acceptable for us to move forward after
Wow.
that point. But yeah, that was a moment where I'm like, Mom, I don't care how much you have to spend. You go buy new pants. Like,
Kick her out. Kick her out.
yeah,
We'll continue.
I
You can
will
stay away.
sacrifice my mom in this instance and eat lunch without her.
It's nice knowing you. See you later.
Go have a turkey leg. So yeah, we were able to continue up the staircase and through the doorway, and there's this really beautiful mosaic 33 tile at the door, and I got pictures of that. And then we go inside, and the hostess greets us at the front desk, and the first thing you see if you look to the left as you walk through the doors is like this kind of bar area. It's like a lounge. So if you there's two options for members. They can go to the lounge and have drinks whenever. I guess I don't think you need reservations for that per se. Maybe you do. I don't know. I'm not a member. But and then or you could have a meal. And so what I was told was that non-members are not allowed in the lounge, but they can be guests in the dining room. And so the hostess greets you and asks if you've been there before, and we all say no. And so she takes you through the entryway and she points out all of the historic pieces that are in here. So there is artwork from the same person, the same lady that designed It's a Small World,
Mary
but it's
Blair.
yes. And so it's not Small World style. It's like a watercolor piece, like something you wouldn't expect. And then there was a harpsichord, like a piano, that was a gift from Walt to his wife. And she loved to play it. And then apparently this same musical instrument has been played by Paul McCartney and Elton John. Like everybody, there's very special people have been allowed to play
Are they
this.
member and they just come in and play? Like, is that, or is it, has it been in like in a concert?
No, I think it's through them attending the restaurant, I believe, is when this has happened. So they've been allowed to. They had a piece of furniture that had been in both Mary Poppins 1 and 2. And so like they had actually had to move it out of the restaurant when they were filming Mary Poppins 2 because they wanted it to be there as well. So they walk you through these historical items, as they go through the hallway and take you to your table. So
Wow, that's
that
so
was cool.
fascinating. I love
Yeah.
history, as you know. Can I just go through the museum part and not the restaurant?
Doubtful. You have to get through a couple of secret doors before you get there and
It's okay.
have
I'll call your friends. I got it.
yeah. Uh, maybe. Things have changed there too. But in good ways. But anyway, so we sat down and we look at the menus, and of course it's this beautiful place setting with like the 33 emblem on your charger in front of you, and of course my 4-year-old wants to act like a 4-year-old. So she got up and ran around like a couple times during lunch, and we had to chase her down because she loved to see the balcony. So there's this balcony there that overlooks the French Quarter, and it's super pretty, and you can see a lot from there. So she kept going back to there, and luckily the people who had a table next to it, they were members, and they had been there often, and they just loved seeing the excitement on her face, so they weren't really bothered by it. But
Was it someone famous?
I don't think so. I don't really know. They seemed like very just regular people. We bonded because he had a, tiki room shirt and I had my tiki room ears. And so we had a conversation about how much we love tiki culture. Yeah, I mean it's a thing. It's a whole following, the tiki culture.
Yeah, I love the tiki room stuff. I love all the designs that come out of it.
Hmm. Although I don't think you can say it without saying tiki 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 room.
I well, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to say it at least once, just like that. But yeah, so the food was great. You got to select an appetizer and entree and dessert. There might have been a salad course too, but I usually can't have salad or soup. So dairy and lettuce with my Crohn's disease, neither of those work very well. So uh,
So were there plenty of options for you to choose from?
they were very good about communicating things with the chef, and they did make some adjustments so that I could. So I had it was like a lump crab au gratin, but it was all butter, I believe, and I think it had like a hollandaise, and so there wasn't cream in the hollandaise, so I could have that. And then I think they did a French onion soup, and they just left the cheese off, so they were able to modify a lot of
Yeah.
their menus so that I could have it. And they even brought me like a special dessert at the end because it didn't look like I was going to be able to have any of the desserts because they were all with like ice cream and stuff. But they tracked down, I think it was like a pear sorbet.
I found that
uh,
churro again out in the park.
yeah,
Brought it
well,
to
yeah,
you.
I mean, I had dessert first if you count the churro. But no, they were super accommodating and very nice about everything, and really you could tell they cared about my dietary restrictions, which you can't say that about everywhere. It's like, yeah, she'll be fine if she gets some cheese on her taco or what, like it happens.
Yeah.
There was a very cool drink menu with signature drinks that you could only get there, and they had a special, I want to say it was a barrel pick Blanton's specifically for Club 33. I was told that they'll buy like an entire barrel specifically for the club, and you can only get I think you can get bottles in the bar, and buy the entire bottle. I want to say it was a few $100s. But I think the Club 33 Blanton's Old Fashioned, I believe, was like $33 for the one drink. So it was very good if you're a bourbon person like I am, as if you couldn't tell.
Like
It,
you sampled at least one,
at least one or two.
kind of
Well,
your way around a bourbon. Yeah.
I actually, a lot of these bottles I've brought back from places. These are collectors bottles. I don't always do like the exclusive drops at the local liquor stores. But if we are out traveling somewhere and I find something unique, then I'll try and bring it home if I can.
That's why
So
you buy two bottles, one to drink, one to display.
technically, I don't believe, I know we're getting way off subject here, but I don't believe that anything should stay on a shelf forever. Like I'm very much a Die with Zero, if you've read that book or heard of that book, type person. I believe you should save and you should cherish things and make sure that your life's in order, but I feel like you should enjoy life as well. It's too short to just leave good bourbon on a shelf. So I enjoy drinking my bourbon. And you know what? When it's gone, it's gone. Maybe if I get down to like the last glass, I'll leave that in there for a special occasion. But there's always going to be another something, and you're never going to run out of options. You're just going to
Right.
experience different options through your life. So I take the same mentality to a lot of things. But getting back to Club 33. No, the bourbon drink was very good. And I didn't see anybody famous. But I did take a picture of the book. There's a guest book near the front. And of course I signed up. Not that I'm anybody, but I'm like, I'm gonna sign this book as long as I'm here. And I think it was you, Kendall. You were looking at the picture and you noticed Drake Bell's signature
Yes.
was in it. And so this was back in January of 2024. And this was before his whole quiet on set show was even talked about, like, or advertised, released, whatever. And so I don't know. I mean, obviously he could be there for many reasons,
Right.
but
Could he have been
but
there for the filming
well, no, I
that
don't
documentary?
I don't know. I don't think it was associated with Disney at all. But
Well,
but
no, not well, it wouldn't be Disney.
no, there
It,
was not Disney. Disney wasn't really referenced much in the show, except that the guy affiliate. I don't want to talk too much about that on this podcast, but the guy affiliated with his story took him to the Disney parks a lot.
oh,
Um,
okay. I'm
but
just saying, like maybe he was just there in LA for the filming and just happened to go
yes, yeah, I don't, and
visit.
I don't know where he lives, nor like
Yeah.
in general, but yes, that's
Maybe
very
that's just what
possible.
the rich and famous people do. They're like, want to grab lunch at Club 33? Okay.
I
They
mean,
just
it's very
go.
possible. Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
possible. But yeah, so he was there, I think, 2 days before I was there. But everybody that I met at the restaurant, the other people who were eating were just so cool and so nice and just down to earth people. It was all around. It was everything I'd hoped, and I think it ended up being like a 3-hour lunch. we were
Wow.
we were there. Well, and when you're with friends and you haven't seen each other in a while, it's just good company and you're just catching
Yeah.
up and telling stories
And how was
and
the 4-year-old doing at the end of a 3-hour lunch?
she was bribed with a brownie at the end. So it was effective. The bribe was effective. But yeah, she was getting my husband really stepped up that day and was chasing her down and keeping her entertained so that I could have my experience.
Oh,
So yes, she was getting restless
yeah.
towards the end. But
Yeah.
yeah, so that's it. And then we just spent the rest of the day just running through like all of the top rides of the park. We went and did Indiana Jones, the Tiki Room. We did Park Hopper, so we went over to California Adventure and we did Spider-Man. Oh, we got McKenna on the Mission Breakout, which is the California version of Tower of Terror, the Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. She was tall enough this time to ride it, and it was like the only major ride that she could ride, or that she
Yeah.
was tall enough to ride.
Yeah.
And I felt a little bad because she was starting to fall asleep because like it was a long day, but I wanted to savor every minute of it. But we woke her up. We are like, "Hey, you said you wanted to go on this. You want to go?" And she's like, "Yeah, I want to go." And so we got on pretty quickly, and I felt a little bad because by the end of the ride, she was like, "I'm done. I'm done." We're like, "We're almost there, babe." And then like if you look at the picture of all of us, like you can't even see her face because some guy's hand is like this in front of her. But I'm
Oh.
like happy. I think my husband looked happy. My mom looked like she was saying a cuss word. Like it was great.
Oh.
But yeah, it was a exhausting, wonderful life bucket list
So it was
of a day.
everything you had hoped it would be.
Absolutely. But the fun thing is like now I want more. Like because they actually have multiple Club 33s. There's one in each park now. Even in Florida, there's one in each of the Florida parks, from what
Oh,
I'm
that was
told.
gonna be my next question if there was one in Florida. So there's like a Club 33 in Epcot, is that what you're saying? Like in
That's
each
what
park?
I've been told. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they're all like slightly different. None of them supposedly stack up to the original in California in quite the same way with the same history, of course.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, so we joked about our next trip and trying to go I guess it'd be 2025 and trying Florida this time. And
Yeah.
we'll see. I don't know if it'll happen. I don't know if timing will work out with all of that. But yeah, I mean, it's fun to dream. Already have my other bucket list regarding the parks is to visit every park in the world. So, and to visit a park at least once a year. So like those are two goals that I keep like on my vision board. So,
Yeah.
um, it's possible.
Yeah. Well, what was I gonna ask you? I
Oh, souvenirs. They
Yes.
have they have their own Club 33 special branded souvenirs. They'll-
This is what my wonderful friend Mallory brought. Oh no, it's not.
I know it's not
Um,
here I've got
oh, it's kind of there.
yeah, so that's the medallion, the Club 33 medallion in the middle, and it's got like a mosaic look to it.
This is the
But
closest I'll ever be to Club 33. But now I'm conflicted because, we are going in May
to Florida.
to Florida.
hmm
Do I take that set of ears with me? What if
Are
I lose?
you why would you lose your
I
ears?
don't know.
Have you seen the bags that have like a little spot? Did you sent me the picture of the bag, right? Or was it my mom? People send me all sorts of Disney things because they know I love it. But there is a bag now that's available that has like a snap on the side where you can snap your ears into the bag.
Oh,
Something like that. Yeah, I'll have
yeah,
to find it and send it to
that's
you.
fun.
So, I mean, I usually like if I start to get like a headache or something, like the pressure's too much
Hmm.
on the ears or they're bothering me, then I'll put them in one of my lounge flies. They fit pretty well into the
Yeah.
lounge fly, but I don't know. I mean, yeah, you'll have to decide if the risk is worth it.
I mean,
Also,
would
I'm
would somebody recognize this? Like, would a cast member? I mean, probably a cast member, but like
maybe
people walking around the park would be like, "Oh, have you been to Club 33?" And I'll just be like, "Yes, I have. It was amazing. I went with Drake Bell, Josh Bell, whatever his name is."
Drake,
Is the
right?
other one named Josh?
Josh Peck, I
Oh,
think.
okay, that's it. So his name is
Yeah.
Drake. Yeah. I don't know why
Yes.
I get those two mixed up.
You had me questioning it for a minute. Yeah, I mean, maybe someone would recognize it. They do change their patterns and their designs seasonally,
Yeah.
from what I was told. But yeah, we ended up getting a few things. I've got a jersey, like like the
Yeah.
usual Disney Spirit jersey. I got one of those that's that same pattern as the ears, and it's got
Hmm.
like Club 33 in gold across the back shoulders. That's so
Yeah.
cool. I got that, and then my husband collects challenge coins, and so he got a challenge coin. And yeah, we loaded up for sure. But that was something to remember it by, aside from all the pictures.
Yeah. So what would you do differently if you got the same opportunity again? You would invite your best friend Kendall. That's right. Oh,
Yeah.
you're so kind. Wow. I would love to go.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, we are overdue for a girls trip.
Yes.
That needs to be in the future, especially since my husband is not as enthusiastic about these things. I mean, he's definitely enthusiastic about Club 33 just because, it's a specialty thing. But
Yeah.
um yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'd change a thing about it. I might try some different food because the food was
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
I would order something different. I had salmon. Maybe I'd go with the steak next time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think each time would be its own memory and its own uniqueness, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Especially if it would be in different parks. I'm sure they've got different memorabilia and things in each park. But
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll post a lot of these pictures and elements to social media so you can share in my experience and hopefully maybe put it on your bucket list on your vision board one day.
I want to stay in the castle.
Same, same. Hey, we'll put that on our vision board. You
There
never
you go.
know. Um, well, we're about out of time, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. So thanks for joining us today. Reach out and let us know if you're utilizing the show in your life, and don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss an episode.
Take care, y'all.